It's Friday, May 17. In the headlines, a proposal for PPV drivers to be recertified. In business news, the Factories Corporation of Jamaica to develop turnkey community micro-business parks island-wide. Regionally, MOU signed for Caribbean food sustainability. And in sports, ICC T20 World Cup Trophy Tour set for Trinidad and Tobago on Saturday. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Following a series of motor vehicle accidents involving public passenger vehicles, some of which have been fatal, Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says the pool of drivers in the public transport sector will be required to be retrained and recertified. It's being proposed that drivers participate in an online and in-person course before receiving a license to operate a public passenger vehicle. The minister said this is geared towards ensuring that drivers coming into the public transportation system are qualified. The transport minister was speaking Thursday following a meeting of the National Road Safety Council. Preparatory work has begun for the construction of the new Kingston Public Hospital. The Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, made the announcement this week. Dr. Tufton says the ministry is creating a project team for the KPH so as to not have any delay in the reconstruction process.
It's a 240 plus year facility, and we're spending some money this year on KPH, but the cabinet has said we should explore the construction of a new KPH. It's not a short-term thing, let me just state that clearly. Nobody should ask us next year if we're breaking ground next year.
He says it is a similar outlook as Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James, which is being reconstructed while continuing service.
So it has implications for land. So we're going to have to look at the land in and around there and how we access additional lands. It has implications for rescoping. So we're going to have to deal with that. But while we're doing that, KPH has major issues, electrical issues and so on. So this year we're spending $300 million. It will not stop us ensuring that the services will continue. A social curriculum that focuses on values and good character is being recommended as a suggestion that could mitigate the high levels of violence in schools. Danita Rodney tells us more.
Amidst the recent surge in school violence, children's advocate Diane Gordon Harrison proposes implementing a social curriculum to address and reduce the escalating levels. She says in the ongoing discussion about the underlying causes of this surge, prioritizing character education is imperative.
Has been gaining a lot of steam, particularly in other jurisdictions, where as a part of the academic and technical delivery of teaching and learning, students are incorporated into a full curriculum at each grade level in terms of morals and values.
Mrs. Harrison adds that the curriculum could take several forms.
It could be that it's interwoven into different subjects. It could be a standalone subject like personal development, where we teach persons how to become socially appropriate individuals, because we need to be reculturing our people, including children, into how we need to be operating if we're going to be a fully functional society. So we are having a serious situation where it's almost a come to Jesus moment, where we have to determine how do we guide from the very infancy stages right throughout.
Her remarks follow the tragic killing of a 20-year-old female student from the Catholic College in Williamsfield in Manchester by a 17-year-old male on Monday. This tragic event marks the most recent in a string of violent and fatal confrontations in numerous schools across the island. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I'm Danita Rodney.
The Ministry of Education and Youth is teaming up with the Jamaica Social Investment Fund to enhance capabilities within the special education domain. A sum of approximately $34 million will be infused by the agency into a range of endeavors, including the establishment of special education standards, the training of educators and school administrators, and the development of inclusive educational environments throughout the island's schools. During a recent contract signing hosted at the Michael University College in Kingston, Education and Youth Minister Favour Williams emphasized the significance of collaboration and partnership in fostering positive transformation within the education sector. Minister Williams highlighted that the support from the JSIF underscores the ministry's commitment to ensuring that every student with special needs receives adequate attention and support, leaving no one behind. Since 1971, the crocodile is a protected species under the Section 6 of Wildlife Protection Act. The reptile is also featured on the island's coat of arms. Therefore, the recent viral video of a saltwater crocodile being cut up for meat in Jamaica has sparked public outrage and the need for enforcement. Brittany Walker has more in this report.
Crocodiles are among the oldest living creatures in the world. In Jamaica, there are increased sightings of crocodiles in some areas due to habitat loss.
We are destroying their home, which is mainly the wetlands. That's where some of the hotels are going up. That's where we have some of our recreational area. And that's where some of the informal settlements are. So humans are going in their habitat. So when you're going there now, you are going to encounter more of the crocodile. So some of the things that we do now, in time of throwing waste in the gully, it can come up because if I can get food in the gully versus to go run on a fish, I'm going to do that. Second thing is, we are asking some of the fishermen in recreational areas. So if you know that people swim in this area and in that section of the river, people swim, don't go there, go clean your fish gut or your fish belly because it's a predator. So you're going to smell the blood and come towards. So that's one thing. And if you are a parent and you go with your kids in an area with crocodiles and say you're going on the water, be vigilant.
Social media was all abuzz recently after a video emerged showing a man butchering a crocodile. The video sparked public outrage and highlighted the need for more public education and awareness about the reptile. In Jamaica, crocodile meat is seen as a delicacy. There is also the belief that the tail is an aphrodisiac and can, quote, make your back strong, end quote.
See, I don't think it is true. And I think if you really have that problem and need something for your back, there's a lot of stuff that you can get at the pharmacy. Leave the crocodile alone.
Crocodiles are shy and attack if they feel threatened. In Jamaica, they are listed as an endangered protected species. They are protected under the Wildlife Protection Act.
You can be fined up to 100,000 or up to 12 months in prison, according to the Wildlife Act, if you are caught harassing, or caught with the eggs, caught eating, killing, poaching the crocodile.
If you see a crocodile, call the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, or the police. For the news on PBCJ, I'm Brittany Walker.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide through the latest happenings in the world of business. The Factories Corporation of Jamaica has been directed to develop turnkey community micro-business parks island-wide as a means of creating more cost-effective operation spaces for micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, made the disclosure during the launch of Adam and Eve Day Spa's new location on Old Hope Road in Kingston on Wednesday, May 15. Mr. Holness emphasized that MSMEs are a critical part of the economy, noting that there are about 425,000 of these entities across Jamaica. In fact, the Prime Minister says, we know this because many of them are registered tax-paying entities. We know that those 425,000 MSMEs generate annual revenues of between 15 million and 425 million yearly, and they hire between 1 and 50 persons, the Prime Minister stated. He also informed that collectively there are about 412,000 own account workers, which are self-employed persons in Jamaica. Guyanese President Dr. Ifran Ali has met with an executive team from the Jamaica Stock Exchange, JSE, at the office of the President in downtown Georgetown, Our Today reports. The JSE team was led by Managing Director Dr. Marlene Streetfarce, as well as Marketing and Communications Director Mr. Neville Ellis. They held discussions on Tuesday, May 14, with Ali focused on exploring collaboration opportunities aimed at advancing Guyana's financial architecture. The JSE is set to host its second staging of its flagship conference in Guyana on October 8 to 9 at the Pegasus Suites and Corporate Center in Georgetown. Consumers paid an average 3.5% more for food and non-alcoholic beverages for the 12 months to April this year, as reported by RJR News. However, looking at the month of April alone, the Statistical Institute of Jamaica says prices fell by 0.6%. Compared to March 2024, food prices fell marginally by 0.7%. Statin says the main contributor to the decline was a 3.7% fall in the cost of vegetables, tubers, plantains, cooking bananas, and pulses. On the other hand, non-alcoholic beverages increased by an average of 0.4%. During trading for the period of May 16, 2024, the following companies valued at 500 million Jamaican dollars or more in assets represent the overall volume leaders in terms of equity sale on the main market of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Alternative energy provider Wigton Wind Farm Limited ordinary shares with 2,662,042 units amounting to 43.30% of the main market volume in terms of equity sales. Toll road operator Trans Jamaican Highway Limited with 1,442,524 units amounting to 23.46% of the main market volume in terms of equity sales. Investment house QWI Investments Limited with 274,994 units amounted to 4.47% of the main market volume in terms of equity sales. During trading for the period May 16, 2024 on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, the following companies represent the overall volume leaders in terms of sales of equities on the junior stock market, with companies valued at 50 million or more Jamaican dollars in asset value. Online education platform One-on-One Educational Services Limited with 4,035,522 units amounted to 36.51% of the junior market volume in terms of sales. Advertising agency One Great Studio Company Limited with 1,312,701 units amounted to 11.88% of the junior market in terms of sales. Electrical hardware distribution firm Foster's Company Limited with 1,145,445 units amounted to 10.36% of the junior market volume in terms of sales. Over on the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange, trading on May 16, 2024, registered a volume of 149,197 shares crossing the floor of the exchange, valued at 1,176,035 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 87 cents. NCB Financial Group Limited was the volume leader with 79,898 shares changing hands for a value of 203,037 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 95 cents, followed by Massey Holdings Limited with a volume of 31,096 shares being traded for 127,968 Trinidad and Tobago dollars and 94 cents. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies, we turn to the Forex market. On May 16, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that $34.4 million was bought from Forex traders, while $57.7 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $157.01 and bought the US dollar for $155.11. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.90, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of 60 cents from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $115.17 and bought for $114.57. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $4.53, selling it for $198.76 and buying it for $194.23. For our credit report tip of the day, it is fantastic at 18, 19, 20 when you get your first job. It's thrilling. However, we're going to give you a big phrase to keep in mind. This is your credit utilization score. We need you to keep it low. Aim to keep your credit card balances well below the credit limit. Ideally, you shouldn't be spending more than 30%. High credit utilization can negatively impact your credit score. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed. Stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, the University of the West Indies and the CARICOM Private Sector Organization have signed a memorandum of understanding as part of a collaborative effort to increase food security and reduce the importation cost of food in the Caribbean.
The signing of this MOA commemorates the formation of an alliance between universities responsible for agriculture and research in the region. Their aim will be to increase cooperation between public and private sector organizations to advance the economic goals of sustainability within the region.
But the regional private sector then comes in and says, look, why are you guys worrying about the resources, including land, to do the field trials? Why are you worrying about the funding to get the scientists from ECRISAT to the region to work with our... Why are you worrying about that? We will provide it because we see value in the proposition.
In August of 2022, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley called on officials of the University of the West Indies, University of Trinidad and Tobago, and the University of Guyana to champion the 25 by 25 Food Security Initiative.
Graduates and our graduates that will make a mark on our Caribbean civilization at a time when it matters most. Why does it matter most? Because we live in a region where 53% of our people are food and nutrition insecure.
With the signing of this agreement, the CARICOM region hopes to benefit from a reduction of food imports of 25% by 2025.
Trade Winds 2024 has officially ended. The curtain came down on the 2-week multi-country exercise Thursday morning during a closing ceremony at the Lord Erskine Sandyford Centre. Rhiannon Phillips tells us more.
For the past 2 weeks, over 24 partner nations totaling approximately 1,300 persons came together from across this hemisphere, taking part in training exercises and building strong relationships and expertise on land, at sea, in the air, and even in the cyber domain.
That's the co-director of Exercise Trade Winds, Commander Mark Peterson, speaking on the exercise co-hosted with the United States Southern Command, which has been hailed as a success. And that sentiment has been echoed by the BDF Acting Chief of Staff, Lieutenant Colonel Carlos Lovell.
Without fear of contradiction, I say to you that our regional networks are stronger now than ever before. The United States invested over $8 million in this exercise, and that is a true testament to their commitment to hemispheric security. Ambassador Nice and Admiral Halsey, on behalf of a grateful region, please accept our collective thanks and appreciation.
The acting BDF Chief of Staff also thanked the Barbadian public for embracing the exercise.
The Barbadian people have embraced Trade Winds exercise this year like none other before. I want to say a sincere thank you to the people of Barbados who embraced all of the foreign visitors to our land, and also, in some cases, they said that the helicopters kept them up at night, but they enjoyed it with a smile.
And in her address, Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley praised the participants for executing the various ground, air, sea, and cyber simulations.
I want all of the persons who participated in Trade Winds, and I'm told that I have one or two ministers who did as well, to please stand. All. If there are any of the diplomatic community who did, Roger, thank you. On behalf of the region of the Caribbean community, on behalf of this country, I want to salute you for your service. I want to salute you for your willingness to be able to give of yourself. For those who have never served in high office, let me remind you that if you ever did, you would appreciate each and every person who is standing. Because to put your life at risk when there is no other life that you have is the highest form of service known to mankind.
During the official closing, the respective co-leads received special tokens from U.S. Ambassador to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Roger Nias.
I want to recognize 4 individuals, and I'd ask you to come up. So Commander Mark Peterson, the Barbados Defense Force Exercise Co-Lead, please join me. I have Colonel Chip Carrolls, please join me. Ms. Rosie Sandoval, the Army South Co-Lead and Lead Planner. And Major Angela Valsine of the U.S. Southern Command. And I actually ordered custom challenge coins that have my Native American tribe on one half and the Eastern Caribbean and Barbados on the other. So I'm going to share a challenge coin with each of our co-leads and each of our leaders that made this possible.
Next year, Exercise Trade Winds will be held in Trinidad and Tobago. Rianne Phillips, CBC News.
Fintech companies have been making a dent within the financial space for some time now. In Trinidad and Tobago, one fintech app is seeking to empower people financially with the swipe or tap of a finger.
One software development company has been instrumental in providing technological solutions for businesses locally, from mobile development, security, computing, and more. The future is technology, and it's now. Financial technology, or fintech, is used to describe new technology that seeks to improve and automate the delivery and use of financial services. At its core, fintech is utilized to help companies, business owners, and consumers better manage their financial operations, processes, and lives. For Mark Pereira, his company is seeking to improve the technological landscape and train persons on best practices for the industry.
We tend to drive our innovative technology towards the people who need it the most, the people who do not have a lot of financial access, can't access things like loans or capital or US, for example. So a lot of what we're doing is we're lending our hand out to individuals through technology platforms to help aid in their financial empowerment.
And this innovation, according to Mr. Pereira, includes a money transferring feature, among other things.
Our main focus currently is WAM. People say it's like a cash app for Trinidad and Tobago, or it's mobile money. And one of the main goals is to meet customers where they're at.
Mr. Pereira said the app is more than a money transferring app, but rather seeks to provide convenient, secure financial assistance to citizens. And he stressed that WAM aligns with government's cashless vision for the near future.
To connect Trinidadians to the global economy, right? And within that is to have unlimited financial access. So if I am working in Trinidad and maybe I want to get paid by a US company or in Europe or wherever it is, I can receive cash from a foreigner as instantly as possible. But also internally in Trinidad, one of the main benefits of WAM is that I can send money to somebody in Togo instantly and they get it straight to their phone.
Apart from the app, Mr. Pereira is committed to ensuring that the future of TNT's ecosystem develops and is in the right hands.
Sometimes we take technology from away and we apply it to Trinidad, and it's not necessarily maintained or upkept. And I think the main problem with that is the fact that we don't have the human talent and capital available to meet those needs, to maintain these technologies. So recognizing that that's one of our main focuses, and we focus on the youth really because the youth are a part of the information age. The youth are very technologically savvy, so we target them with our software development boot camps and offer up an ecosystem as well.
The future of fintech is bright as developments in fintech.
In cricket, with the ICC T20 World Cup Trophy Tour set to land in Trinidad and Tobago this Saturday, TTT Sports spoke to the head of PR and communications for the ICC T20 Men's World Cup, Damon Leon.
The ICC Men's T20 World Cup Trophy Tour is set to arrive in Trinidad and Tobago this Saturday at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy and the Buku Integrated Facility. Head of PR and communications of the tournament, Damon Leon, spoke on the importance of having a physical trophy interaction.
I think it's important because as in any world sporting event of this nature, having the trophy actually in your country sort of brings home the reality that a major World Cup event is actually going to be taking place on your shores. So, and it's also a way for fans to actually, we see it on television, we see it through broadcasts. It's actually a way to engage fans, for them to become closer to the sport, to the action, and really just to feel a part of that, that they are just part of this major world event.
Leon mentioned what can be expected come Saturday.
I do know that the local organizing committee has a number of great things planned at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, starting from 10 a.m. this Saturday. It's open to the public. I do know that there are going to be cultural performances, there are going to be displays, it's just an opportunity for Trinidad and Tobago to sort of celebrate our identity and sort of show the world that when the trophy is on island, that this is what we represent as brand TNT, and for everyone to come out and just and get an opportunity to be face on with the trophy, see past and present players, take photos, and just make this into something that's really that we're going to remember for years to come.
He said the response of the trophy tour across the region has been overwhelming. At
every participating Caribbean host nation, the welcome and the response has been tremendous. I mean, special thanks really should go out to the local organizing committees and the governments who have made this possible. The public response has just been tremendous on every level.
And that's it for the weekend news on PBCJ. I'm Simone Absalom Gale saying pleasant viewing.